All right, shalom, shalom. It's brother Osman Wath once again. I got my brother. You can introduce yourself.
SACREMENTO upon YAHAWAH.
Got brother ZACHARII, brother from SICARI, Houston. You know. So once again, we coming back. Under the theme of prophecy. Once again, these prophecies are speaking loud and clear. But first and foremost, we're gonna give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem Kakadash. That's our praise to the Heavenly Father and His Son's name of the world, Edom, the cause Jesus Christ. Real in Hebrew is Yahawashi. And I also want to, say shalom to the sincere heart of Akim and Akwad out there, And also, and we're just gonna get started into it, man. So, of course, bro, if you got any precepts, while we head in this thing, just let me know. All right, but I'm gonna start off right here. Let me read this article. We got two articles we're gonna kind of just jump into, and it says the first one, red alert, red alert. Red alert. That means that you're on high offense, man. Right? It says Chinese military to overtake U.S. by end of Biden's term. Right? So once again, we're gonna let the prophecy speak, man. Right? And this is Jeremiah 30:23. He says, behold, the whirlwind of Yahawah goeth forth with fury. It says, a continuing whirlwind, it shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Right? And we know that the wicked, it's when you read Malachi 1:4, it goes to Esau, Edom, but all these nations are wicked, man. Considering what they have done to the Lord's chosen people. Verse 24, he says, the fierce anger of Yahawah shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days, you shall consider it. So let's read that part again. It says, until he have performed the intents of his heart. This is the Lord's intents. This is his will. This is his purpose, right? This is what is on the forefront of his mind. Even when you read within the gospel, right? It talks about the day of vengeance, right? Isaiah 63 talks about how the day of vengeance is it's in his heart. These are his intents. It's for war and massive bloodshed to be basically paving the way before we enter into the kingdom. Because although we're about to give you a few comforting words, because we speak about war and bloodshed, people being put to death, often, and that's just, the office of a prophet. But at the same time, we do these things because we're desiring a righteous kingdom, man. We're desiring a righteous kingdom to where we don't have to, prophesy about death, and plagues and famines and pestilences, But as it is, it's got to be done this way for right now, right? So we're going to continue to do it. But while we're going to give a comforting word into, the sincere hearted Akim wa Akwat out there, but it says, until he had performed the intents of his heart in the latter days, right? And we're living in the latter days. It says, ye shall consider it, right? Let's go into this word considering, because now things that, we used to, that people used to jokingly laugh off as, conspiracy theories or whatever. Now you're actually considering it. The Bible said in the latter days, you'll consider these things, such as America not being a superpower anymore. Some people, hey, 30 years ago, people would actually laugh at that. Oh man, no way America, won't be ruling forever. They got the strongest empire, got the strongest army, but now, hey, it's not even to so much of a point to where you consider it. Now you're just waiting for America just basically be moved out the way. But people, they're trying to consider who's going to be the next rulers, because they already know America's time is up. Even your diehard patriots, hillbilly drinking a six-pack who used to, be so gung-ho about America. Even he knows now, I listen to these, these white boys at my job. They even know that their country's finished. But now the world's just looking at, well, damn, who's going to be the next ruler empire, right? But as it is known through the Holy Scriptures, right? You're looking at your next rulers right here on the screen, Lord willing, man. All right? So let's go into that word consider. He says, in the latter days, you shall consider it. Look at this line E. It says, to teach. To teach. Going to show you that this is how the Lord orchestrated it. In the latter days, you shall not only think about these things, but you're going to teach it. Well, who's going to be the ones granted that access and privilege to teach it? Hey, the Lord's sincere men. No, So we're fulfilling this role, you know, we're fulfilling this prophecy as it is today, man. So you got a precept, bro?
Yeah, come on. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, going to the how the brother was saying that the war coming against America, look, that's the will of the Most High God. So this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind," man. And what is the destroying wind, man? That's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. That's talking about the utmost destruction of the Most High God, man, right? And verse 2, and I said to Babylon, furnace, man, right? Because in the ancient times, you didn't have, like, you know what I'm saying, stoves and lighters and stuff like that, man. You have to start a fire, and then you get, like, the little fan thing to make the fire bigger, man, right? So the Most High God said not only that he's going to send fire and destruction, and look, man, he's going to send furnace, which make it bigger, man. And it says, "They shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about," man. And it's going to the other nations, man. It's going to be the ones who destroy America, man. Like Russia, China, North Korea, man. These nations are rising up to go against America right now, man. Because like the brother was saying, once upon a time, America, man, it used to be that superpower. Nobody wouldn't dare to come against America, man. But look, America don't got it like that no more, man. Because the Most High utterly took that power away, man.
That's it, bro. You know, and hey, I like that phrase down there. It says, "For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about." Well, as we read through these articles today, you're going to see how these nations are literally gathered about America, man. Hey, this great whore is taken, you know, and that word "taken" goes into basically being captured. You know, she's captured.
Like,
what you say, bro?
Let me get this last precept right.
Okay,
Going at verse 7, because how you saying America used to be that superpower, right? So it says Jeremiah 51:7. It says Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, man. So just like how it says in Romans chapter 9 verse 17, how this for the same purpose have I raised thee up, comparing America to Egypt. The only way Egypt was a superpower because the Most High allowed it to be a superpower, just like America, man. The Most High allowed it to be a superpower just for its purpose, man. So it says Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. They made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, man. Because America, right, they're going to other nations, right, trying to proclaim democracy, man. Got these people fighting their own government because they all want to be like Americans, man. That's why America has to go. That's just the Lord, man. But you got it, brother.
Yep, that's it. You know, and the only reason why America has been that golden cup in the Lord's hand is because he's just been basically been chastising, you know, the Israelites, you know, from our punishment by America. Let me grab this in Isaiah 10, and me and brother Nakawam had touched into it last night a little bit. I'm gonna grab it in NLT, verse 7, and it says, "But the king of Assyria," and America, you know, is also known as Assyria as well. You know, because within this chapter, there's things that hasn't happened in Isaiah chapter 10. You know, but it's letting you know that this is a kingdom connotation or future connotation as well, a prophetical overtone to it, right? So it says, "But the king of Assyria will not understand that he is my tool." And America doesn't understand that it's the Lord's tool. America thinks, well, as a matter of fact, he's about to tell you, he says, his mind does not work that way. See that? America's mind doesn't work that way. It's not, the Lord didn't put it within the elite's mind to know that it's him that's pulling the strings, man. Right? It's him that's manipulating their thoughts, like Proverbs 21:1 says, that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. The Lord even laid up on their mind. Why? So he can have full-fledged use of them, right? Without them considering it. It says his plan is simply to destroy, to cut down nation after nation. That's how the Lord has wired this this kingdom to be, right? Their plans is to simply destroy. Why? Because I mentioned it time and time again. It reminds me of that song "Toy Soldier" from 50 Cent. You know, well, that's exactly how the Lord programmed these nations, particularly Esau, Edom, with him receiving that gift of the sword. He literally just basically the Lord's little minion on the left hand side, you know, to carry out his dirty work, right? And this is verse 12. It says, "After the Lord has used the king of Assyria," so the Lord, hey, he's going to use his king, and he says, "After the Lord has used his king of Assyria to accomplish his purposes on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem," see, because America has accomplished his purpose upon us, right? And it's about to finish it right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, continuing to purge out, you know, the wicked and the rebels and pull that dross off of the Israelites. But America's about to slaughter a lot of us, man. You know, Lord willing, we're not, you know, one of any of those numbered to the sword, but the Lord's about to basically accomplish his purposes for raising up this king of Assyria, right? He says, after the Lord has used the king of Assyria to accomplish his purposes on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, he will turn against the king of Assyria and punish him, for he is proud and arrogant. See that? So after the Lord uses this nation, then he's just going to turn around and destroy it, right? I got what I wanted out of you. Now let me deal with my people as sons and daughters, right? You had some?
Yeah, because the same thing how I was saying, like the other nations become boastful and he knocks them down. The same thing happened with Nebuchadnezzar, man. Right? Let me get this precept. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse let me see. Yeah, so this is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, and I start at verse 30. So it says the king spake, and the king in this context talk about Nebuchadnezzar. It says the king spake and said, "Is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and the honor of my majesty," man? Because Nebuchadnezzar, he was deceived into thinking that he didn't want. He's the reason why Babylon was that great city at that time period, at that point in time, right? So verse 31. While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, "O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee," man. So once Nebuchadnezzar started getting prideful and boasting, thinking that it was of his own works, and man, look, Nebuchadnezzar, before he started conquering Israel, he said, "Look, hey, your God is the one who sent me to come get y'all, man." So he knew that it was of the Most High that he had a great kingdom, but then he started getting powerful and said it was me, and that the Most High knocked him down, man. Right? And let me get a free more on this.
Okay, but
so I'm jumping to verse 34, and then it says, "And at the end of the days, I Nebuchadnezzar lifted up my eyes up to heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and praise and honor him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation." But here's the point, verse 35, "And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing," man. So at the end of the day, man, the Most High, he's using us. We can't get powerful and boastful, because at the end of the day, man, we're nothing, man. And it says, verse 35, "And he do it according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say unto him, what does thou, man?" So when you see nations getting rised up, man, nations going to war, it's all for the purpose of the Most High God, man. Nations, you got certain nations that don't want to go to World War III, man, but it's of the Most High that they have to go to World War III, because it's the Most High, he don't want with the power, man. Yo. That's it. That's it.
God, yep, that's it, bro. That's it. You know, and going back to that point to where had Nebuchadnezzar, you know, the Lord basically turned him into a damn beast. You know, he took away his understanding from him. He started to go out to the fields and literally eat grass as an ox. You know, and that's why Esau, Edom, you know, he's going to get one of the most harshest punishments, because not only does he not acknowledge the Most High, but he goes to the extent to be the complete antagonist against the Most High by raising up, you know, all different types of abominations, you know, and abominable people such as the LGBT community. And then he goes as far as protecting them, you know. So the Lord is going, let me grab this in Acts 5. The Lord is just going to completely wipe that man off the map. So this is Acts 5, and where is it at? Is it Acts 5? It may be let me grab it. Okay, yeah. Yep, Acts 12:23. All right, this is Acts chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. It says, "And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre." Well, let me start at 21. It says, "And upon a set day, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them." So upon this certain day, King Herod sat upon his throne, and says, in royal apparel. And right now, you know, Esau is decked out in royal apparel. You can read that in Revelation 18, how Babylon is decked, you know, with that fine with purple and scarlet. You know, he says, and sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. Right? And it says, and the people gave a shout, saying, it is the voice of a God and not of a man. Right? And that's how these people are looking unto Esau Edom right now. Right? When he writes these laws and legislations, when he's making these orations unto the masses, there's, oh, surely this is a God. This is why you know, a young black man, you know, wants to grow up and try to be like a so-called white man, because he views that white man as being a God to him, man. Right? But Esau Edom doesn't give any type of reverence, you know, or glory back into the Most High. Let's keep reading. And as a matter of fact, King Herod was an Edomite, right? And he says, verse 23 says, and immediately the angel of the Lord smote him because he gave not glory, because he gave not God the glory, and he was eating of worms and gave up the ghost. See that? So the same thing's gonna happen to Esau Edom, right? He gets the admiration of a lot of nations, well, all the nations, man, you know, and the inhabitants thereof, but he doesn't give the glory to the Most High. So the only thing that is for that's set forth for this man is for him to give up the ghost and to be eaten of worms, man. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind of, cause yeah, how you saying that? How Most High God knocked Herod down and gave up the ghost, he was eating the worms, right? So it's the book of Isaiah chapter 14, and I'm gonna start at verse let me start at verse 9. So it says, this book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation, man. So it's talking about how to because when you go to Isaiah 14, right, after verse 3, verse 4, it's talking about the fall of the Edomites, man, the fall of Babylon, man, right? So you let you know that hell is some of their judgment, that captivity, man, you getting spoils, whipped, all the stuff you did unto us, and man, look, that's coming back on you, man, right? But let me get to the point. Verse verse 11, and it says that pomp is brought down to the grave, because right now, man, it's the Edomites, they're the most pompous people on the earth right now, man. They don't want to think they high and mighty. They don't want to think they're the smartest because they got education and things like that. I mean, look, their pomp is going to be brought down to the ground, man. And it says, and the noise of our olies, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, man. So just like how the Most High did to King Herod and to all these other nations that got proud, I mean, look, the whole Edomite race is going to be in that same position, man.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, that's what this nation has for it, man. Like the book of Isaiah goes into, it says that there is no peace unto the wicked, right? So let's read this. It says Chinese military to overtake U.S. by end of Biden's term. All right, now, Lord willing, you know, it doesn't go on that long, you know, for another 3 years, you know. I truly don't believe it will, man. Just seeing how things are going on. But let's keep reading. Let's see here. Yeah, it says, welcome China watchers. This week's guest host is, let me just skip all that. I think the main part was in, okay, yeah, we can start over here. It says, though Pentagon officials since the Obama administration have called the Chinese military the U.S.'s most capable rival. See that? So Babylon's acknowledging that it's got China, you know, to be one of its most capable rival, you know, and between China and Russia, man, Babylon does not stand a chance. It's once again, it's just a matter of time, you know, whenever the Lord finally decides to pull the plug on this whole, right? It says data about China has actually been spending. So like it says data about what China has actually been spending or what is bought remains scarce. So China isn't disclosing, you know, the information on, you know, what they're spending their currency on. It says research into Chinese defense investments since 2000 reveals that compared with the United States, China has prioritized purchasing weapons and equipment over spending on personal salaries and on operations and maintenance. And that's prophecy in and of itself. As a matter of fact, once again, me and Brother Nakawam went into it last night, right? Let's get it again. Because it says now China is prioritizing their spending upon military equipment. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And this is a part of preparing war. You put off, certain things that shouldn't be prioritized, right? He says, wake up the mighty men, let all men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords. And your plowshares is what? That's a farming instrument, right? So the Lord is saying, beat your farming instruments into swords and pick up your swords to prepare war. And that's what these nations are doing by prioritizing their monetary systems or prioritizing their spending into military funding, right? That's them literally beating their plowshares into swords. And he says, and your pruning hooks into spears, right? Same thing, says, let the weak say I am strong, right? That's why China can speak such a big game now. That's why they can stand on the stance and say that they're strong, because now they have equipped themselves, to be that strong nation by having those ICBM missiles and other detrimental capabilities. Let's go back here. You got something?
I got a precept. Yeah.
Okay,
This book of Jeremiah chapter 15 verse 9, because going into China, right? And it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, man. So the Most High God, like you said, you got these nations, they finna stop putting their money into entertainment and stuff like that. All their time, effort is finna go into military supplies, man. Going into missiles, nukes, tanks, and all this other stuff, man. So it says, for lo, I will raise the cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From this she shall be taken. It says that her arrow shall be as a mighty expert, man. None shall return in vain, man. So when these other nations, right, China, North Korea, Russia, setting up these missiles, and look, these missiles ain't finna go for naught, man. These missiles ain't finna go, fall in the ocean. America go come and intercept the missiles. And look, once these nations see these missiles, it's a wrap, man. And it says, and Chaldea, right? When you look at ancient Babylon, the Chaldeans was more of a higher class of the Ethiopians, which today, man, according to the America's elites, man. And it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and that for her shall be satisfied, said the Lord, man. So once these nations destroy America, man, these nations not going to be crying over America, right? The ones that is against America, man, they're gonna be rejoicing, they're gonna be happy, man. Just like the Israelites, the ones that didn't make it out of it, man. First, they finna be crying over America, man. We're gonna be rejoicing, we're gonna be glad, man.
That's right. That's what he told his holy apostle in Revelation 18. He says, rejoice over her, for the Lord have avenged you on her. As a matter of fact, that's the spirit, bro. I had this in mind. Let's read down to like 15. And he says, because you were glad, and this is why they're going to be rejoicing over Babylon, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, oh, you destroyers of mine heritage. And who's the Lord's heritage? The Israelites. Joel chapter 3, Deuteronomy lets you know who the Lord's heritage is, right? So they destroy his heritage. He says, because you were grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellows as bulls. And Esau, Edom, America has grown fat, man, off of exploiting the Israelites, off of free labor, man. He says, your mother shall be sore confounded, right? Talking about Babylon. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahawah, it shall not be inhabited. And this is once again how you know that this is talking about this spiritual Babylon, America, because like we had touched into last night, ancient Babylon, which would be modern day Iraq, people are still living over there, right? He says this Babylon will not be inhabited after it's destroyed. He says, but it shall be a holy desolation. WHOLLY, meaning completely desolate. All right, he says, everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her at all her plagues. And this is the key point. It says, and this is what we're going to get into later on in this article. He says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahawah. And this is what we're looking at right here, right? These other nations, China, Russia, you know, Iran. We're going to touch on Iran a little bit too, right? They have set themselves in array. When you go into that word array, let's grab that again. It's Iraq. It means to set in order, right? To arrange, set in order. Yep, to ordain, furnish, esteem, direct. These nations, they are set in order against Babylon. They laid down these other nations, they laid down all their petty differences aside, and they got one mission at hand, and that's to overtake America. All right, he says, verse 15, shout again. Well, we'll grab that later. We'll grab that later. But let's finish off this quick little article. He says, as a result, the U.S. military is on track to man. Says as a result, the U.S. military is on track to be outgunned. Come on, man. That's how you know it's bad. Okay, so you got Esau, Edom, right? That has been given the gift, the blessing of the sword, and now they no longer, right? Now somebody else has overtaken their blessing. That's how you know that. Come on, man. Right? That's how you know they're finished. He says, as a result, the U.S. military is on track to be outgunned, potentially in quantity and quality of armament. See that? So not only do they have more than you, but what they do have, it's in better quality, man. Right? They have the cutting edge missiles. You know, missiles got GPS and all that stuff on. Hey, come on, man. He says, by the end of President Joe Biden's first term, the lack of data on Chinese defense spending reflects the notorious unreliability of official releases from Beijing. Yeah, because Beijing, China, they don't want to tell y'all what they got going on. The very fact that they hiding something lets you know that y'all ass is in trouble, man. You know, you think Floyd Mayweather going to tell you, you know, how he been training? You know, he's going to give you his inside scoop. No, man, you're gonna find out when your ass get in the ring.
Like, even though when you bring up Floyd Mayweather, when they used to do that 24 hours on Showtime and stuff like that, whenever he get ready to spar, he tell everybody to turn the cameras off, man, and they turn it right back on after he's finished, man.
See that? Hey, look, and he's undefeated. And he undefeated. So, hey, that goes to show you, man. China, hey, they tell you to turn the cameras off. Nope. But it's America's dumbass to let everybody know what they doing, what they spending on, because America has no discretion. All right, going to show you that, like Proverbs 2 says, discretion is what's going to be the preserving factor in the last days. Right, and you can glean, you know, a lot of spiritual meat off of this concept. You know, going to show you once again how the Lord took away that wisdom away from Teman. You know. And these other nations got more wisdom than Edom right now, man. The very fact that they're just being discreet about their moves, man. Right? And let's see here. I guess I'll was it more on this? I think that was the main point I wanted to grab off. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, we'll move on over here to the next article.
Right. I got a pretty stuff to touch on that, what you just said.
Okay, bet.
On how you know what I'm saying, these other nations, they sit and be quiet, and America just run its mouth, right? There's a book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 7, right? Okay, if America had wisdom, they would do this, right? I'm gonna read 6 to 7. Okay. It says, some man holdeth his tongue because he had not the answer, and some keep his silence knowing his time, man. So these other nations, right, they're not gonna go around bragging about what they got and stuff like that, because they understand that there's gonna be a point in time where they're gonna show this off, man. Where America not gonna be able to undo what they got going on, man. At verse 7, it says a wise man withhold his tongue till he sees an opportunity, man. So these other nations, man, they being wise right now, man. They stacking up, right? You might hear about the military and stuff like that, but you don't know what's really going on, man. Russia not making big headlines talking about we got this stuff like that. I mean, look, yeah, they already know what's going on, man. But it says, but a babbler and a fool will regard in no time, man. So you understand, man. America, they going around saying we're the biggest, baggers army. We got the best Marines, all this stuff like that. And man, look, they fools, man. They not being quiet. The other nations, they sitting there taking notes, and then they coming up with countermeasures against America, man. So America is about to fall soon. Thus saith the Lord, man.
That's right. That's right, man. And that's a characteristic of a great whore. You know, whores, they not only prostitute themselves and, you know, do sexual exploitations, but they're also known to be loud speakers, man. You know, not having any discretion. You know, but yeah, let's go over here to this other article. And it says Pentagon, right, monitoring Iranian warships that may be headed to Venezuela. Now, just let you know, Iran, they're backed by India. You know, India, they have ICBM missiles. You know, so this is another reason why you see Iran, you know, speaking big, because they know that they big brother India, you know, got their backs, you know, because they both, everybody got beef with America now, man. Let me grab this real quick. This is Proverbs 21:31. And it says, the horse, right? And we know that a horse in Bible prophecy, you know, it could be symbolic, you know, either to a chariot or even to a missile. It says the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of Yahawah, right? So these horses, these chariots, you know, they're prepared, and also these missiles, they're prepared against the day of battle, but it says safety is of Yahawah, right? And we're going to get, you know, before we end this lesson, you know, how you can basically do your part to make sure that you stay safe, man, because we live in some dangerous but yet beautiful times, right? But anyway, let's get this article real quick, right? It says the United States national security community is monitoring two Iranian naval vessels whose ultimate destination may be Venezuela, according to three people familiar with the situation, in what will be a provocative move at a tense moment in U.S.-Iran relations. Let's keep reading a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's cool. Let's read that last part again. It says the U.S. national security community is monitoring two Iranian naval vessels whose ultimate destination may be Venezuela. Now, why are they going to Venezuela? All right, you got to ask yourself, why is Iran going to Venezuela? Well, let's do a little research. All right. Well, first, before I get why Iran is going there, I want y'all to see who else is in bed with Venezuela. It says Venezuela remains as one of Russia's most important trading and military allies.
Right, man.
And we went into Russia last night, man. Right? So, hey, all like we said earlier, all these nations are laying aside their differences. They're getting on one accord for one purpose, to overthrow America. So, Iran, they're allies with Venezuela and also Russia. You know? So let's go over here. It says this is why Iran is going to Venezuela. It says it right here. Iran building missile base in Venezuela. Woo. Let's read a little bit of this article. This is cold, man. It says Iran and Venezuela are fervent. And when was this written? Look at this. It says January 5th, 2012. Going to show you once again these prophecies. This is why his word is known as to a seed, because you plant it and it's got to grow. You know, prophecies were popping off even in 2012, right up on your nose. But we're living in the times where things are being made manifest now. You know, so let's read. It says Iran and Venezuela are feverishly building ICBM missile bases on the Paraguay Peninsula. Now let's look up where Paraguay is. It's important to know your geographical locations in regards to this whore, right? Paraguay is right here at the tip, the northwestern tip of Venezuela, right? And this is where that missile base is, right here. And this is they build missile bases on islands because one, you don't have many people living over there. So, you know, it's fewer risk. And then it's you know, that's pretty much the main purpose. It's fewer risk, you know, for harming their own people. All right, so this is a perfect location. And where is this in relation to America? Hey, not far at all, man. So like Jeremiah 50 said, Babylon is taken. These nations have set themselves in array from north, south, east, and west, man. This whole is finished. Let's keep reading. And it says, Iran and Venezuela are feverishly building ICBM missile bases on the Paraguay Peninsula, a thumbnail-shaped spit of arid land around 1,000 square miles in size, 250 miles northwest of Caracas. These bases, check this out. It says these bases are designed to house missiles with nuclear-tipped warheads. Hey, and we know about the warheads. You know, that one missile can literally split off, you know, hundreds of warheads, man. So it says these bases are designed to house missiles with nuclear-tipped warheads capable of reaching large portions of the United States. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta ask yourself, why is Iran and Venezuela building a missile base? You know? Well, it's letting you know right here, man. The Bible lets you know, and we're reading it in secular, you know, secular documentation. It says is capable of reaching large portions of the United States. From the Jerusalem Post in May of 2011, and noted at the time by American Thinker, we read about the stunning developments that the Obama administration and their socialist and neighbors in the media want to bury before the 2012 election. Hey, and this is what they do, man. They bury information like this, right? For one reason, they don't want mass hysteria to go on. And then America wants everybody to believe that, you know, she sits far from danger, you know? Her nest egg is, you know, because that's one of the attributes of an eagle, is high above danger, you know. But the Lord, like Jeremiah 51 says, that he's pulling her down from down in rocks, and he's gonna make her a burnt mountain, man. All right. So you got anything, bro?
No, I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna grab this real quick. This is Jeremiah 50. I'm gonna start at verse 41. And it says, behold, a people shall come from the north. See that? And brother just, you know, got how China is involved, right? Russia is involved. It says, and obviously we just read about Iran, and says, and a great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And America has provoked many kings to be raised up, man. These kings, that's why it says that the nations are mad at America, at Babylon, because of the drink that she's been given to these other nations. Verse 42 says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel. Let me just see what that word cruel goes into, because I know in the Hebrew it has many different definitions. Ooh, I like that. It says a savage messenger. Hey, one who brings grievous tidings, such as sentence of death, right? And is that not what China just did the other week? Said that we're ready to attack America. We can overtake America. That's by definition, you know, them being cruel, right? Before they even lay an instrument of war over here, just by them bringing bad news, a sentence of death, right? But let's go back. It says, verse 42, he says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea. They shall ride upon horses. See that? That's what we just got in Proverbs 21. Said that the horse is prepared for the day of battle. They shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. See that? So everybody's ready to battle against Babylon. Verse 43 says, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail. See that? So the king of Babylon, and this is why Biden has really, hey, you haven't really been hearing Biden, trying to converse a lot with these nations, combat them, because America, they usually talk big, man. As soon as somebody threatens them, hey, America goes over there and bombs them. But Biden's been holding back. Why? Because Bible prophecy is playing true. The king of Babylon has heard reports about the enemy, and he is weak with fright. See that? This is why this man ain't saying nothing now, man. Because he knows that all these nations can take his ass out just by one hit of a button, man. Hey, hey, you got some psycho, man. Hey, he could just hit that button whenever he feel like it, man. And hey, America's finished. It's one button. So we living in yet beautiful but yet dangerous times, man. You know?
I got a pre.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 16, right? And it says that no, it's like let me get this first in the book of Obadiah. Let me see what verse like here. So the book of Obadiah, the priest is going to fit in Revelation 17. So this book of Obadiah, chapter where Obadiah. Yeah, so Obadiah, I think I want verse 7. Yeah, Obadiah, I'm starting verse 6, right? How are the hidden things of Esau stretched out? How are his hidden things shot up? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Right? So even though America, right, got enemies, hey, look, man, the people that's allies with America, and look, they gonna turn on America too as well, man. Right? And it says that the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and fell against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid wound under thee. There's no understanding in him, man. So like I said, man, all the nations that America, you know what I'm saying, make trades with, think they're allies with, think they're gonna have that back during World War III, stuff like that. And man, look, these nations gonna end up turning on America as well, man. Because every single nation, whether they're friends with America or enemies with America, hey, look, they hate America, man. And it goes into Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire," man. So that's like how the brother was going into how Iran got nuclear bases near America, and really just also they can make America desolate with fire, man. They go turn on America, right? They go see America as far, and they say, "Oh look, Russia, China, North Korea, they're taking America, and really let's jump in. That's the only chance to take down America, man." So like I say, from both ways, America got it's like the Most High God got America trapped up in its own snares, man.
Hey, that's spirit. You said that. Yep, let me grab that. It's Jeremiah 50 and 24. And it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. And what's that snare? Right? Well, you falling upon your own sword, really. You know, you not being discreet, right? And then the people that you were allied with, now they turn it back on you. That's a snare. And you fell for it. He says, and you was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahawah. And we went into it last night. What does it mean to that Babylon has striven against the Lord? Look at this. It says to cause strife, to contend, meddle, to wage war. See that? America has waged war with the Lord in two ways: by waging war against the Lord's people, and also they're going to, as is prophesied in Revelation 19, 2 Ezra 13, they're going to try to fight the Lord and his angels, man. Right? So, and that's a snare in and of itself. You trying to fight YAHWASHI, man, and your ass finished, bro, before you even get started. You know? So as we said, you know, we're going to admonish, you know, and strengthen the hearts of the feeble-minded. Right? So this is how we find refuge. You know, let me grab this real quick. Grab this before I get that. This is Ezekiel, I want to say 11. Yo, this is Ezekiel 11:16 says, therefore say, thus saith Yahweh power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen. Yeah, the Lord has cast us off among the heathen, man. North, south, east, or west. He says, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. And this is what the Lord is being, you know, for the sincere hearted. And I continually stress that one word, sincere hearted, man, you know, because there's many people now, you know, they know that they're Israelites, you know, they just think it's some fad now, you know, to wear fringes and go eat some lamb or whatever. But it's much more than that, man. You truly have to be sincere, you know. So he's a sanctuary to us, man, to the sincere hearted. And what is a sanctuary? Well, within the sanctuary, let me grab this real quick. Right, you find safety. This is where you hearken unto. This is like the ark, man. It's Psalms 32. It's Psalms 32, and I want to say verse 7. He says, "Thou art my hiding place, and thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. And that songs of deliverance, that's the same song that the elect will be singing in Revelation 14, man. All right, same song that Noah gave us in Exodus 15. That's that song of deliverance. And we're singing that within this hiding place, within him, within this sanctuary that he's given us. Let's grab this in Psalms 46. We just okay, bet. We just kind of skim through this whole chapter. It's just a couple of verses. Psalm 46 from the top, he says, to the chief musician for the sons of Korah, a song upon Alamoth. Yahweh is our refuge and strength, a very present help in time of trouble. Yeah, because there's going to be many different forms of, helps out here, but people, as Psalms 118 says, for vain is the help of man. We won't trust in, let me just grab that real quick. The Bible can say it better than me. Psalms 118. Psalms 118 and verse 8, it says, it is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in man. Yeah, because man, they're gonna, in these times of trouble, coming up, they're gonna, try to help you out. If you do find somebody that has a heart, but it's not gonna be that present help in time of trouble, right? Because the Lord, like scriptures tell you in Psalms 37, he knows how to deliver the righteous out of trouble. Verse 2, he says, therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled. And we know that those waters represent those nations. And these nations, they're roaring right now. He says, though the mountains shake with swelling thereof, Selah, there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Yahweh, the holy place of the tabernacle. See that? The tabernacles of the Most High. Verse 5, God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. Speaking about Jerusalem, because we're a people before we're a place. He's in the midst of us, man. He says, Yahweh shall help her, and that right early. Verse 6, the heathen raged. See that? The heathen raged. And all these articles we just went into, that's all that is, man. Heathens raging. Yahweh shall prophesy that that's going to happen, man. Kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. Says the heathen raged, the kingdoms removed. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Yahweh of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. See that? Why? Because Joel 2:27, he's in the midst of Israel. Verse 8, come, behold the works of Yahweh. What desolations he has made in the earth. See that? So once again, the Lord is the one that's making all these desolations. So there's only one place we can find refuge. It's the same one who's putting all this hell up on this earth, man. Verse 9, he maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. And that's what he's going to be doing in Esau's chariots, that damn Space Force. He's going to be burning their damn chariots and fires, man. He says, be still. See that? And I want y'all to meditate upon that, man. I meditate upon almost every day. Just that, those two words, be still, man. Because sometimes you could be a little hasty, man. Like did a video yesterday through the Spirit. My grandpa used to tell me, haste makes waste, man. And that's so true. You be too hasty, you're going to end up wasting yourself, man. Right? He says, be still and know that I am Yahweh. He says, I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Yahweh a host, and that word host simply means armies, man. So the Lord of heaven's armies is with us. So not only do you have the Most High, his son, right? But then you also got the angels watching over you, man. He says, the God of Jacob is our refuge, Salah. So yeah, I just want to, just read that, bring that chapter out, as we also bring, death threats, to America. We also want to comfort the Lord's people, man, because he told us, let me grab that in Isaiah 40. He told us to comfort Jerusalem. Isaiah 41, comfort ye my people, saith Yahweh. See, because it's a perfect balance with the Most High, man. Proverbs 11:1, he says, for a false balance is abomination in the Lord's eyes. Yeah, we know that the Lord, he's a very, he's a vengeful and fierce and fierce God, man of war. But at the same time, he's loving, man. And we can't forget that aspect. So the same one who cast us over here into this land of our captivity, he's going to be the same one, that's going to take us away from it. And he and the way how he speaks comfort be unto his people is by his word, man. Verse 2, he says, speak ye comfortably unto Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. And our warfare, meaning our captivity, is almost done, man. We just got to hold on. We got to continue to have that patience. He says that her iniquity is pardoned, for she have received of Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. See that? So yeah, man. You had a precept, bro?
Yeah, kind of. Because going into, you know what I'm saying, even though the Bible is a lot of, you know what I'm saying, judgment, destruction, and war in it, man, it's also peace towards Israel. So I want to get the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 21, to live out what the brother saying. It says, be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power of the hands of the enemies, man. So like I said, man, it don't take us, you know what I'm saying, going up, getting guns and trying to fight against Esau, man. Us trying to have Black Lives Matter protests and stuff like that, man. Hey, man, look, we're supposed to be calling upon the name of the Lord, man. The Lord, he knows what we're going through, man. The Lord sees what these devils are doing to us, man. But look, we got to, first and foremost, accomplish the punishment of our iniquity, man. So it says, verse 22, it says, for my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior, man. So like I said, man, us being in the hoods and ghettos, us being at the bottom, stuff like that, and it's not going to last long, man. But it, like the Most High, he planned for us to be in captivity, and look, he also planned to get us out of captivity, man. Verse 23, it says, for I see, like it, for I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever, man. And it's like I said, forever, man. Because once we got this last captivity, man, we're never going to captivity no more, man. We're going to be set up forever, man. That's why we always say, man, in this last captivity, hey, man, look, I know we've been here for a long time, but look, endure, man. It's all going to be worth it at the end if you put all your trust in YAHAWASHI and YAHAWASHI. In verse 24, it says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God, man, right? Which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness from the everlasting, man. Because the other nation, man, they're going to see who the children of God was in this last days, man. The same people, the same niggas that, yeah, they want to say crazy niggas on the street, yelling at white people, yelling at our own people to come up to the Lord, man. And look, they're going to see that salvation come for us, man. It says, like, let me jump to verse, like 20, I want to jump to verse 27. Okay. But it says, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh, for he shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you, man. So like I say, man, we just confess our sins, man, and cry to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahawashi, and we look, the Most High, he planned to get us out this captivity, man. He planned to put us on top. He planned to have his son kingdom established on the earth, man. But first and foremost, it takes us to come out and, you know what I'm saying, warn our people of the things that's coming to pass, man. To repent, keep the commandments, have faith in Yahawashi, man, and look, everything will be all right at the end, man, if you know that number.
That's it, man. That's it. Now, you close the book on that. You got any last regards or comment?
Other than that, brothers, you know what I'm saying, just enduring this fate, man. You got people falling out the truth every day, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get proudful because saying it can't be me, because, hey, look, man, the Most High, he don't need none of us, man. It's of his grace and it's of his election that, you know what I'm saying, brothers out here doing the work. But look, hey, man, look, in the eyes of the Most High God, we're nothing, man. So like I say, man, let's keep the patient, endure, and just keep doing the work, man.
All right. No. So with that, Mawaf Lababal, hope it was edifying. Shalom.
Shalom.